Trump has already started dumping on his supporters. He sold 220,000 tickets to the inauguration, and then the hotels in DC were not getting sold out. They were only at 70%. The most humiliating thing that ever happened to him, and the first lie he told the first time he was president, was when he had the most impotent, lackluster, teeny tiny crowd compared to Barack Obama's big, robust, thick crowd that he had. And it has always bothered him. So he wasn't going to start his second term with the imagery of how impotent he is. And so here is one of his ultra MAGA. Kylie, put this on the screen. Ultra MAGA. Yeah, I'm pissed. I'm out about $5,000 for this. I was there, J6. It was a heartbreaking day. That's why I paid so much more to come back for our redemption. Guess what? Guess what, TN Miley, Ultra MAGA? Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and the TikTok guy, they're all going to be so warm in the Capitol Rotunda in their five-star hotel because he has lied to you and he has used you. His whole presidency is going to be about enriching himself and enriching his friends. And they scapegoated immigrants and trans people and gay people to get you to be mad. But none of those people have harmed you. The people who have harmed you are the corporations and the Donald Trumps of the world. But let's play this clip from Oklahoma and get Pump's take on this.
One arena for folks, but nobody can be outside now. What's your reaction to that?
So we're not going to get to see it in person then. Is that correct?
That's right.
Well, I don't like it. I mean, we came all the way from Washington from Oklahoma, and now we're not going to get to see it. We might as well stay home and watch it on TV. It sucks.
Here's what I just want to say real quick. That looks exactly like somebody from Oklahoma, and everybody wonders why I don't date. That's what I've got here in Oklahoma. But here's the thing. It is no surprise that his ego would not allow him to do it, his inauguration in front of a small crowd. But also remember, this is a grift. He's gotten over $200 million for his inauguration. Where's that money going? Certainly not going to go to reimburse these people.
Why these supporters that he loves so much, he's going to make America great for them again. Why isn't he reimbursing them since he had a record-breaking inaugural haul? Why isn't he reimbursing them?
Or setting up tents?
Yeah, he doesn't care about them, and it's already starting, and it is going to be heartbreak hotel city for these people because they have been sold a bill of goods. And I just want to say, I do think it's interesting that all of these people were so worried about inflation,
right,
and the price of eggs, yet they're going to the inauguration. Another point I want to make is it was every bit as cold in Barack Obama's inauguration, where he had that big, long, thick crowd, record crowd in 2008. And it was that cold during John F. Kennedy's inauguration. And he's such a man, he didn't even wear a coat. He didn't wear a top coat. And so I just think these snowflakes that can't, it's 23, 24, and MAGA's melting down because of the cold. I mean, come on. I thought these were the tough guys.
Right. These are the alpha males. They go to alpha male school. One thing I also thought is the protests in DC over the weekend, which were massive against Trump, his crowds would have paled in comparison. And that would be another blow to his little bitty, tiny, impotent ego.
And I think it's interesting to point out that the large scale protests were not really amplified that much. The algorithm didn't pick them up. So the tainting and the shifting of the algorithm is already starting under Trump's reign. And corporate news didn't really report on it very much. But what I do want to report on is the pre-surrender that you see a lot of people doing. And Keith Boykin has, I think, one of the most important clips that I saw over the weekend on CNN. And this pertains to Snoop Dogg who pre-surrendered and danced at the and performed at the Bitcoin crypto inaugural shit show. And then I saw yesterday on Instagram, Oscar de la Renta, the fashion house, was posting pictures of Usha Vance and Ivanka Trump. And I think that these people are being very short sighted before they start seeing the egregious human rights violations, and they have made fatal errors. But I want to play this clip from Keith Boykin.
To the black community.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at Donald Trump, the man who would refuse to rent to black people in the 1970s, who tried to lead a lynch mob against 5 black and brown kids in the 1980s for the Central Park case, who refused to allow black casino workers to have a prominent place in his casinos in Atlantic City in the 1990s, who spent 5.5 years lying about Barack Obama's birth certificate in the 2000s, who came into office and then attacked black people like Colin Kaepernick, who attacked Ruby Freeman and her daughter Shay Moss for simply doing their jobs as Fulton County election workers. You dishonor those people when you go and perform for this man who has done nothing but dishonor black people. And just last year, he was calling Haitian immigrants, accusing them of eating cats and dogs. This is not somebody that black people should be associated with and pretending to normalize. We should be challenging him. And it dishonors the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., whose birthday we honor on Monday, to celebrate this man.
And I want to say here that I want to be an ally to that. And I think the way white people cherry pick when they're racist and when they're not, and the way they use black culture is abhorrent. I'll give you an anecdotal story. My son plays basketball in Oklahoma. He's a senior in high school. We go to all of these crazy asshole Christian indoctrination schools like Christian Heritage, Crossings Christian. My son doesn't go to one of these schools, but we play these schools. All white parents, all in MAGA stuff or MAGA coded stuff, you know, the flag with the blue line in it and all that stuff. But the hype music as their team comes out is all this black culture music. It's rap music, it's hip hop music, it's the type of music that NBA players come out to, and the crowd's thumping with it. And I always sit there, my husband and I sit there and I look over and I think, these people, this makes them feel a little bit less racist this moment, even though they voted 3 times for the biggest racist on the planet, Donald Trump. And we cannot let up on this. He's the one who questioned Kamala Harris's ethnicity. I mean, and everybody just goes along with it. And everybody is so complicit, especially white people are so complicit with racism. And it is disgusting. It is so disgusting. And when people say, I don't see color or I'm not racist, they are 1,000,000% racist.
When I heard him say that about the black artist dishonoring the black, I think every white person that voted for Donald Trump dishonored white people, because you are either racist adjacent, don't give a shit, because Donald Trump has not hidden his racism. He has been out and proud with it from the jump, like Boykin referred to, before he was in office and a political person. It is disgusting. He is gross. People that voted for him are gross. And I look at this like Alabama and one other state are not only honoring Martin Luther King Day today, they're also honoring Robert E. Lee. Okay, the emboldenedness and how people who are racist feel that they have been wronged and that they need to have their voices amplified, it makes me worry about in 4 years, what kind of racial intolerance, how much is it going to build over the next 4 years? Same with women. How much domestic violence, how much harassment is going to increase in the next 4 years because you have a president that is a sexual deviant, racist, and his supporters like it.
And I want to leave you. This is MAGA right here. Here's Charlie Kirk. Here's Charlie Kirk talking about MLK Day. And this is MAGA. This is who all of you fucking idiots voted for. You pieces of shit. This is the kind of mentality that you voted for. This is the type of guy that you listen to and then go pray to Jesus to. Play the clip, Kylie.
Thoughts. And I wanted to make sure that, after that conversation, we talk about the positives. And then we also get into some of the other implications of this. We're a truth-seeking show. But I can say declaratively, this guy is not worthy of a national holiday. He is not worthy of godlike status. In fact, I think it's really harmful.
Can I just make one point real quick? I'm going to ask you a question. I know that we always say Ted Cruz is the most unfuckable man on the planet. Charlie Kirk has got to be the most unfuckable man of his generation. I mean, he is pathetic, pitiful, disgusting.
Yes, I completely agree. But how he's trying to normalize and
Right.
demean MLK. And when I think about that speech was in the 60s, it's not that long ago. And I think about the people in Oklahoma, in this community that I know that still whisper racist shit. And now they're going to hear this and they're going to go from closeted racist to even more outward racist. And so white allyship to the Black community is more important than ever. And to all of you MAGA voters who are working class people who voted for this, I want you to know you've already been forgotten.
Right.
He does not care about you, and you're going to absorb all of the tax breaks that he's giving to his friends, and you're going to absorb all of the national debt. Your children's generations are going to absorb all of this because 25% of this country's national debt was added during Trump's first term. So we have racism, xenophobia, misogyny, homophobia. So all of these people that pre-surrendered, Oscar de la Renta, Snoop Dogg, all of the oligarchs, you're on record for supporting this shit because it's all going to start raining down. And we all know what you did and how morally duplicitous you are. So then when you say, oh shit, I didn't realize he was going to be this big of a piece of shit. Bullshit. Bullshit. We're going to call it out. We're going to call it out nonstop. And we all need to remain united on the right side of history.
I agree.
All right. We'll see you guys later.